Let me read that thing. Let me see if I have it on, I've lost most of the book now. Can you go to page 53, Mike, and read the thing about faith?
You got it.
This is, I think it's 52, 53, bottom of 52.
'52 and '53.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the bottom of 52 or 53.
That was natural, but let's think a little more without knowing. Okay. That's at bottom of page 53. That was natural, but let us think a little more closely. Without knowing it, have we not been brought to where we stood by a certain kind of faith? For did we not believe in our...
Just stop there, Mike. Let's just dwell on every sentence. So without knowing it, we've been brought to where we are right now by a certain kind of faith. He was describing about pitiful, incomprehensible sort of demoralization. But right now, whatever state we're in, it has been brought about by a certain kind of faith. This is what they're putting out in the big book of AA. Yeah. They're trying to describe how life works in a way. Yeah. And he's really emphasizing faith, this power. Yeah. All right. So that first sentence, without knowing it. So this is the condition most of us are in. We don't know what's going on. Yeah. So without knowing it, where we are right now was brought about by faith. Pretty incredible statement. Yeah. Can you read the next sentence, Mike? I don't have it in the book here.
Okay. So the next sentence is, for did we not believe in our own reasoning?
There you go. So now we're getting to the, we're sitting and getting the diagnosis out of the book, right? We walked in to the diagnostic room and hopefully we're malleable, and they tell us without knowing it, Paul, where you are right now has been brought about by a certain kind of faith. Okay, so now read that sentence, second sentence again.
For did we not believe in our own reasoning?
All right, so the faith has been in the reasoning or the thoughts, yes? Okay, so now before you take your pants off and put your little gown on, you don't have to do that. It's just going to explain the situation. Your ass has been visited way too much anyway. So, yep. And this is the situation. Faith in the reasoning. What is reasoning? Thinking, yes? So there's been faith in reasoning. So they're now reverse engineering the predicament you think you're in. Let's say pitiful, incomprehensible demoralization, irritable restlessness, whatever it is, has been brought about by a certain kind of faith. And that faith, yes, it manifested by the vehicle it's put in, which is reason or thinking, yes? So we're believing our own thinking, the thinking, and this is the cause of the dilemma we're in. Okay, can you go to, sorry to do this, but I don't have the book. The next sentence.
This is great. Did we not have confidence in our ability to think?
There you go. They believe we did, so they're just asking us, yeah? Because without knowing it, they're going to ask us so we can answer the question ourselves. Did we not? Yes. Yep. Okay. If you look at your life and you're open to seeing it in a new way, you're probably going to willingly and happily admit this. Yes. Okay.
What was that but a sort of faith?
Yes. What was that but a sort of faith? To me, faith is a force. It's neutral. It's going to be given meaning by the whatever it's put in. Yeah. So there's faith in reason, and we've experienced the results of what can happen when there's faith in reason. Yeah. And it has brought us to the situation that we find ourselves. Okay. Yeah. Next one.
Yes, we had been faithful, abjectly faithful to the God of reasoning.
Can anyone give us the definition of abjectly?
Yeah.
It means a whole lot. So what is it?
utterly hopeless, miserable, humiliating, or wretched.
All right. Abjectly. Wow. So that's amazing, eh?
Yeah.
So the faith in this form of reason has really produced some claustrophobic effects, yes?
Yes.
Yeah. Where does it say you did any of this?
It does.
It doesn't, does it?
No.
It says you are the expression of it in a way, but it's faith that has done this. You, we're not mentioned there yet.
Right.
Are we?
Not at all.
He's describing faith.
Right.
Faith as us. Yeah. It's important. Yeah. So you, whatever that idea of you is really held up by faith. Yeah. And what holds up that idea or image of you is the thought system. Faith in the reasoning gives us you and me as we were or as it sees us to be. So a lot of people still think they're fucked after they've been sober for quite a while because they're still listening with faith to that old station. Yes, yeah. All right, next sentence, if you don't mind.
So in one way or another, we discovered that faith had been involved all the time.
Bingo. Yeah. So all the time, what does that mean? All the time.
Yeah.
Is there any time that's not captured by the statement all the time?
No.
No. So basically all the time, what was it again, Mike? That
faith had been involved all the time.
All right. So now if there's book thumpers and stuff like that who believe the book, well, yeah, read that. It just gave you the whole situation without mentioning us at all, because it doesn't have a lot to do with us. It has a lot to do with faith and what the faith is in. Yeah. Yes or no? Yes.
Yes.
And so do you want to administer, which you can anyway, or distribute the faith, or are you more an expression of how the faith is distributed?
Expressed.
Yes, yes, yes. Perhaps there's a better way. Faith or trusting, instead of trusting finite self, which they just described, yeah, we're going to trust the infinite. There's no mention of Paul, it's trust. Yeah, perhaps there's perhaps there's a better way. Trusting the infinite rather than finite self. It doesn't say we trust the infinite, trusting the infinite. Faith in the infinite instead of faith in finite self. There you go. And do you see that when you try to trust the infinite as self, that's faith in finite self? Now you have a pretty good diagnostic tool, yeah, don't you?
Yeah.
Without knowing it, we now know what we were at the effect of without knowing it. We now know it. It's been revealed. It's in page 52, 53. They're going over it with us. Yeah. That it's faith in the thought system that has brought about to the condition we seem to be in right now. Yeah. Now, we would like to see that changed, but if we're identified as that which is producing the great desire or the need for things to change, not much is going to change, is it? Self cannot get out of self. Faith in self cannot get out of faith in self. If you tell the truth, you're not that, you're going to lose interest in it. And faith is going to will be available to go somewhere else. And instead of enslaving you, that faith will enrich your day. How about that? Not bad, eh? Same faith. We have not been mentioned at all.
Right.
We are one aspect of an activity that thinks it's the whole aspect. Yeah. We're one aspect of an activity that's driven by faith. Yeah. Faith is what brings shit into manifestation, tell you the truth. Yeah. For a dream to seem real, there must be faith in it. Yeah. When we're asleep at night and we're in a dream, there's faith in that dream. When we wake up and now our faith is in the morning, we see the dream as a dream, don't we?
Yes.
But when we're sleeping at night, there's no morning. So the faith is in the dreaming. So we're there. If there's a tiger in the dream, we're scared shit. Yes? But when there's a waking up called the morning, we lose faith in the dream at night. Yes? Because now the faith is fueling the day. This is a description of a life run and lived by faith. We're just trying to show it. Yeah. When you're dreaming at night, does it seem real? It sure does. Because you're there, faith. Yeah. Not you as Paul. You're one of the characters, but there's faith in that dreaming. Yeah. Seems as real can be. Then an event occurs called waking up in the morning. The faith shifts into the day. We believe I live in Novato. There's a dog. I'm a body. I got this. Yes. And therefore the faith is subtracted out of the dreaming at night and now is put into the awake dream. Yeah. Now, unfortunately for the awake dream, we don't have a morning. We don't wake up from the awake dream. We need to wake up, which is what's called the spiritual awakening in recovery. We need to wake up to the daydreaming. Yeah. And how do we wake up to that? See that faith is what's moving things. We're not. We're a thing that faith moves. We're not moving shit. Yeah. We're in a dilemma of powerlessness because we think we should be able to do a lot of shit we can't do. Yeah. This is just getting things clearer. Just simple. Simple, simple. If you're a believer in the big book, then you must believe that wherever you are right now is brought about by faith. That's what it says in the big book. Yeah, it does. Does it not? It just said that. Faith has been doing shit all the time. Why did you, don't you believe that could unlock a lot of doors? Because you think you're doing shit a lot of the time. Yeah. Yeah. That you're the big mover and shaker. And everyone on the highway thinks they're the big mover and shaker. That's why there's multiplicity of resentments of other drivers. Because everyone thinks they got the most important agenda and they should be able to get in the fucking speed lane without any fucking Prius stopping them. Yeah. And they have such a sense of entitlement. They've had faith and it's brought about having an Audi or a fucking Tesla. And they demand the Prius unspeakingly to move. Yet faith has brought about the whole event. What? Yeah. When you're sleeping at night, does it feel like it's true? Of course. Why? Faith. That faith is withdrawn from the night dream when you wake up to the daydream. Yeah. And you have more faith in the daydream because in the daydream, while you're dreaming, it seems very convincing. It overrides the faith in the dreaming at night. Yeah. But what would happen if you never woke up? That dreaming at night would be the reality. Yeah. Because faith would be abiding there. Yeah. Can you do anything with this information? No, except take a posture of humility. Yeah. And exalt in something is doing for you what you can't do for yourself, and expand on what you can't do for yourself. That seems wise, eh? I don't know. You want to fight it? Go ahead. I don't care. I can't. Yeah, just put it out there. We did not, did we add any word or subtract any word from that paragraph in the book?
None. No.
Did we massage it or alter it? No. We just read it from a different view. Yeah.
Yeah.
Emphasizing faith and not emphasizing us.
Yeah.
And then you see, we're not using faith to move mountains. Yeah. We're a mountain that's faith's moving. We're a mountain of data and self-importance. So, yeah.
So, Paul, let me cherry pick the next paragraph, just the last two, last paragraph. It was impossible to say we had no capacity for faith or love or worship. In one form or another, we had been living by faith and little else.
Yes. There you go. It's right in the big book. When do we have a fucking seminar on that? It's the blood and the pumping of it. It's most important. Yeah. It's faith is going to manifest by the vehicle it is put in. Yeah. We have lived under a vehicle that faith has been put in, which is reason, the thought system. And it's gotten a lot heavy. Yeah. Even though we're relieved of a lot of the predicaments it would produce, we're still being antagonized by it. Yes. Because we have faith in the thoughts. We have faith in its data. We believed we did those terrible things. So we're not actually let out of jail yet. And I don't see the mental state having any statute of limitations. I don't. It seems to go over fucking cold files from 40 years ago. Yeah. So if you want to live in that judicial system, then go ahead, but I'm just visiting. I'm just sharing with you. Yeah. So I'd like to see more of us out of there. Yeah. Can you imagine not being forgiven for something you didn't even do for 50 years? You have to realize there's no logic in it. It's how it lives. It lives by remembering you as what you're not. Yeah. While it wants to forget your present tense state. Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't want to see the movie. It wants singular pictures that it can paste and sequence to tell a story. The same old, same old. Yeah. Yeah. So faith is up for grabs. The thought system is in the habit of having it come its way. That can change. Yeah. Maybe by blowing up the bridge of stop calling them yours, and see them as thoughts. It'll be much easier. Yeah. Truly. The is a feeling of the movement of faith. Yes. It's a distorted meaning given to the movement of faith. We call it ours. Yeah. And now we're bound to that ours. Yeah. Remember the joy of getting your toy, and yet the incredible sorrow when you lost your toy?
Yeah.
It seemed to be a lot worse when you lost your toy And it was just better when it was just a toy that was shared and shit. Yeah. But my is the signature of faith being moved. Yeah. Faith being delivered. So my problem, that problem has faith in it now. Yeah. My thoughts, those thoughts have faith in it. Yeah. If you want to see the supply line, that's the supply line. Stop calling resentments yours. Stop. This is an act you can get into. Stop calling it mental anxiety fear, first of all. It's not fear. It triggers a sense of fear, but it's mental anxiety. Be clear of the diagnoses, really. Yeah. And the harms you did in the pursuit of what you wanted was self's pursuit of what it wanted. And it has no concern about running over other people's toes. Yeah. Because it lives in a constant state of fear of losing what it has or not getting what it wants. You are not losing. You are not afraid of losing what you have and not getting what you want. The head is afraid of losing what it has and not getting what it wants. There is a distinction. You can't live as self. Yeah, from self. You're not going to get into the from self. You're not. I've been around 35 years in recovery. I completely believe self can't get out of self is the locks of all our prison cells, really. We keep trying to get out of something as that something. It doesn't need a lock. It doesn't need a door. We lock ourselves in. We don't, the head does. And we're living as if it's true. Yeah. So there's a lot of people, canaries in the coal mine. Yeah. This is what we do. We try to share a note that you haven't heard in a while. You can be free from this. There is a solution. Yeah, I do not believe you hate you. I do not fucking believe that. I just do not believe it. The head can, for sure. I do not. No way. I'm my own worst enemy. That's a bad position to be in. Really, that's not a working situation. You know what I mean? You're not going to be looking forward to every next 24 hours with that condition in place. You'll look for some kind of distraction, cigarette, extra donut, drinking, something. So